Operational planning in supply chain management. Learning outcomes are understanding of supply chain management, operational planning, responsiveness, supply chain goal, success story of firm. What is supply chain? A supply chain consists of all parties involved directly and or indirectly in fulfilling a customer request. The supply chain includes not only the manufacturer and and suppliers, but also transporters, warehouses, retailers, and even customers themselves. The supply chain includes all functions involved in receiving and filling a customer request. These functions include but are not limited to new product development, marketing, operations, distribution, finance, and customer service. And these are the stages of different supply chain. Supply chain stages. Each stage in a supply chain is connected through the flow of products, information, and funds. These flows often occur in both directions and may be managed by one of the stages or an intermediary. A typical supply chain may involve a variety of stages, including the following: customers, retailer, wholesaler or distributor, manufacturers, and components, raw material suppliers. The objectives of supply chain. The of every supply chain should be to maximize the overall value generated. The value is also known as supply chain surplus. The value of the final product may vary for each customer and can be estimated by the maximum amount the customer is willing to pay for it. The difference between the value of the product and its price remains with the customer as consumer surplus. The rest of the supply chain surplus becomes supply chain profitability. Supply chain decision. There is a close connection between the design and management of supply chain flows. Decision phases in a supply chain. Three main decision phases of a supply chain management: supply chain strategy, supply chain planning, and supply chain operations. Supply chain strategy include deciding location of warehouse, manufacturing, and storage at different location. Effective information system to be utilized. Supply chain planning includes forecasting the demand and need for material, setting schedules of delivery, effective way of handling customer orders. Supply chain operations include decision regarding customer order within the time of a week. Policies are determined. As we discussed decision phases in the supply chain management, supply chain strategy or design. During this phase, a company decide how to structure the supply chain overall. The next several years, it decide what the chain's configuration will be and how resources will be allocated and what processes each stage will perform. Supply chain planning include the goal of planning is to maximize the supply chain surplus that can be generated over the planning horizon given the constraint established during the strategic or design phase. Supply chain operation. During this phase, companies make decisions regarding individual customers' orders at the operational level. Supply chain configuration is considered fixed and planning policies are already defined. Process views of supply chain. There are two process views of processes performed in a supply chain: cycle view and the push view. Cycle view is the processes of supply chain are divided into series of cycle. Each cycle performed at the interference between two successive stages of the supply chain. And push and pull view, the processes of supply chain that are divided into two categories depending on whether they are executed in response to a customer order or in anticipation of customer orders. Pull processes are initiated by a customer order. Push processes are initiated and performed in anticipation of customer order. These are the pull and push view of supply chain processes. Supply chain macro processes: suppliers, firms, customer. So, and next we will discuss furthermore about the supply chain management, operational operations in supply chain management. Also, we have our case studies and visit to a company, to any logistics company that delivers or control their warehousing. So thank you. See you in the next video.